Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the June meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. I'm John Bureau, the president, and I'd like to welcome you all on this very hot June day. And let's see, we've got our sponsor this month is our very own Carolyn McLean, the Candle Lady. And this month, I haven't seen this one yet. We've got 4th of July, Remember Honor candles. Oh, oh, I'm looking at Coastal Breeze. And, oh, yeah, the Bugs No More, those toasted marshmallow fragrance? Oh, no. Now now limoncello, I may have to get one of those. I love limoncello. So, yeah, if you're looking for a great gift, these candles are wonderful, and they last twice as long as forever. Um, we're still using I thought our, bug one was gone. No, it's about 50% still there, and we use it often during summer.
Can I only use part of it back 5 years later? As long as it's not down to the bottom, it doesn't smell.
Oh, good. Okay. The biggest news this month is Apple introduces new OSs for all devices. Up until now, the version numbering for all Apple OSs has been strange. After this year, it is going to be version year. The next one is macOS 2.6. After that, it'll be 2.7. And then incremental updates 2.6.1, 0.2. Some of the big things that come across is a liquid glass interface. It makes icons, windows look glassy. Now, at first, I thought this was going to be really hokey until I saw it. And it is a very slick design. Now, listen to the keynote, this last comment in here. Listen to the keynote. It felt like this was just going to be an update, nothing shatteringly new. And that's where all the comments in the press were coming out. There's a great big yawn. And then Apple dropped the developer beta. And guess what? The Worldwide Developer Conference keynote was a failure. iOS and macOS are getting the biggest update they have ever seen. And so far, all the comments that I've seen have been extremely positive. Not just lukewarm positive, but saying, wow, they're finally getting it right. They've redesigned the user interface to make it much easier. The animations are a lot smoother. They have greatly improved the integration between the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. It's now almost seamless. Huge performance boost on the laptops and iOS devices. From what I'm hearing so far, is there's about a 50% improvement in battery life. Now, you heard me, 50% improvement on battery life on the phones. Enhanced privacy controls. That one you're going to have to see to understand. They're changing how they interface with the elements of the OS to make it easier to work with. They've redesigned the system settings. They've redesigned just about everything. That's for Mac OS. iOS, privacy has been greatly enhanced. The you can now customize to your heart's content. You have enhanced widgets, flexible home screen layouts, way beyond what we have now. Redesigned apps, they've redesigned messages, photos, Safari. They finally fixed photos the way it should be. Um, they've introduced a whole slew of new apps, of which we don't know what a lot of them are yet because they haven't been introduced. We just know their names. One, I think, is a photo app, and one is a video app to replace the Photos editor and iMovie, I think. Connectivity, greatly improved that between Apple devices. We don't know yet, but we do know there's going to be, and that's how Apple phrased it, next generation wireless support. We think it's going to support 6G, which is just around the corner. Right now we have 5G, 5G ultra wide. For those of you who live north of Busby, you have 5G ultra wide. South of Busby and west of Coronado, I think is where the demarcation is. We don't have it yet. Everybody else in the city does. And 5G ultra wide is fast. 6G ultra wide is supposed to be 10 times what 5G is. We shall see. They're using AI for battery management, and that's where I think we're getting that big improvement in on the iPhone. More health and wellness tracking. They've enhanced the APIs for artificial reality and augmented reality and virtual reality. That's developer in. What they do with that, we don't know yet, but they've really expanded it. Where before they had about 120 APIs, now they have almost 1,000. Greater voice control. These are just the highlights I was able to gather. Every day when I go up and check YouTube, there's more and more about what's being introduced. My conclusion, largest OS update in quite a while. The keynote did not do justice to what is actually being done. Because Barry and I both looked at the keynote and were underwhelmed. Here we saw what is coming out. Said, wow, I mean, the keynote didn't even address most of this. The developer beta, which is out, the public beta will be out probably in 2 to 3 weeks, we think. The developer beta, those who've downloaded it, are just amazed. I have not heard one derogatory comment yet. And normally there's certain YouTube reviewers that are very critical, and even they are impressed. Wall Street reacted to the keynote, not the beta, which is not unusual. Every time Apple introduces, Microsoft also actually, every time they introduce something new, stock prices dip. We shall see. Tips of the month. Oh, this is my favorite one for this month. Okay. First, I want to go and tell you my method, and this is mine, on how to learn a new application. Because I know a lot of people that get an application and say, geez, I don't know where to start, or only use like 10% of it. This is what I go through, and this is what I recommend that you use something similar. You get a new application in, go through every single menu and see what's there. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to know what it does, but just see what's there. Okay? Because you may come across something that you weren't expecting. See if the help menu has tutorials. If they do, use them. What a concept. You don't know how many people I know that never even look in the help menu. If there's tutorials there, use them. most of the harder the application is to use, the more likely you're going to see tutorials. I just got a new app. It's a CAD app, and I went to the help menu, and sure enough, there were tutorials there. Okay, let's go and check it because I was expecting to be, like a 2 or 3 minute. It's let's see, 100. I think it's 150 YouTube videos on how to use the product. Now that's a tutorial. I'm on lesson 3 right now. Okay, look for online tutorials. YouTube is a great place to start. And what you do is type in the name of your application, tutorials, or beginners, and you'll find a slew. Now, are all of them good? No. Will there be one that matches how you want to eat, what you like? And they speak English? Yeah, there'll be somebody there. And start with a simple project. If you're trying to, design a newsletter, don't start off with a 16-page newsletter. Start off with a one-page newsletter. Learn how the application works. And lastly, use help. If you don't understand what something does, go in the help and find out what it does. If that doesn't work, go to your web browser, type in what you're trying to do, the name of the application, and you'll more than likely find it online. This is exactly how I do it. Okay, any questions? Sure.
YouTube?
Yeah.
I know you can use voice for search, but is there a way to use your keyboard instead of talking through the YouTube thing and clicking on the one?
Huh. You just okay. Let me show you. Let's go to youtube.com. And you want to find something, just come up here in the search bar and type in a tutorial on Mac.
Okay, I guess what I mixed up is okay. You're on your computer and I'm on my TV when I pulled YouTube up.
Yeah, it's the same way. You just go to search. You'll have a search icon sitting over here.
You hit search.
Search, and then you go up into this bar and type in what you want.
So you can use your keyboard.
Yeah.
'Cause they have their own keyboard. You have to toggle through it.
Yeah. Yeah. The see with mine, I can use my iPhone keyboard to type it in.
Got a Windows 11. I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, YouTube is YouTube. I thought.
On your TV set, using voice is actually the best way to do it.
It doesn't always interpret right. I'm just wondering if you can just type it in.
Well,
I can do it with their keyboard where you toggle
Yeah.
click on each letter. Kind of cumbersome, and I just thought, is there a way you can use your keyboard?
you might be able to connect the keyboard to your TV set. It depends on the TV set you have. I know my Samsung, I can. I use a Bluetooth keyboard. Did Barry give us?
Greetings, fellow MVCUG members. This is Barry Basmac Geek Midgorded, and this is the macOS tip for June 14th, 2005. The topic today is the Power Preview, and this tip does use the Preview app on macOS. So here's the scenario. Have you ever had a video clip where you wanted to capture a single frame to make an image file, like a JPEG or a PNG, that you could share with someone without sharing the entire video? Well, this tip is about how to get a frame from a movie using QuickTime Player and create a image file with preview. Let's get started. So I have a window in the Finder here, and I have a couple of files. One's just a JPEG. You'll probably see that in another section of the presentation today. But I have a little video here called Seagulls on Cannon Beach. A little clip of some seagulls walking and flying on the beach in Cannon Beach, Oregon. So I got this volume down a little bit so it won't be too loud on the recording. But let's go to the beginning of the clip here and play it. You can see it's only about 30 seconds, a little less than that. And what I want to do is capture a frame coming up here of this seagull as it's flying by with its wings spread, so that I can just get a single image of that seagull flying. So with QuickTime Player open, all you have to do is scrub the playhead here to the frame that you want. So let's the seagull enters the frame here, and you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to let me see, I can use the right arrow key to go forward frame by frame, a left arrow key to go backwards frame by frame. So let's find a frame where he's got his wings up and spread. That looks pretty good. His wings are hidden by that water on the sand. Got his wings down. That's not too bad either, but as he gets farther into the frame here, yeah, that's nice. I like that one with his wings pointed upward in a V shaped. So let's try that one. So you move the scrubber to the frame you want, and then you simply go to the edit menu. Oops, I lost the frame. Let's get it back here. I touch my mouse. You go to the edit menu and choose copy. Very simple. Now we're done with QuickTime Player for this tip. The rest of it happens in preview. I'm just going to minimize that window, and I'm going to launch preview. And it asks if you want to open an existing image if you don't have something already open. I don't want to. I have an image on the clipboard, and one of the features of preview is you can go to the file menu and say new from clipboard. It knows that there's an image on the clipboard of the computer. So Command N for new document would create a new document from the image that's on the clipboard. And there you go. There's that frame from the movie. It's just a single frame, and now it's an image file. So all you have to do now, oops, wrong keyboard, Command S for save. I'm going to save it in, let's see, let's go to that folder where I have stuff for today's meeting. I'm going to title it Seagull Flying. PNG, I'm going to switch to JPEG, which is better for continuous tone photograph images. I'm going to leave the default quality. That's fine. And click Save. And now, if I switch back to the Finder, I have an JPEG file with just that image, just that one frame from the movie. So quick and easy, open QuickTime, scrub to the frame you need, copy it, open Preview, and choose New from Clipboard, and save it. And that's as simple as it gets. Have fun at the meeting. Sorry I couldn't be there. On the 14th, I will be in Kent or Seattle, Washington. My niece is graduating from college today. See you next month.
He saved me a lot. He covered some of the stuff I was going to say. We do have a Windows update. Mike, it's all yours.
All right, this is just to bring an update to what's happening in October with Windows. It was announced that, of course, 14 October 2025 is when Windows will officially end support for Windows 10. Also, as part of that, they're ending support for Office 2016 and Office 2019, the standalone versions of that. There were a couple of things they talked about that I thought was interesting. Is the following will no longer be supported on Windows 10: Office 2021, Office 2024, and Microsoft 365, which I wasn't aware that Microsoft 365 was that tightly integrated. But they did mention that Microsoft 365 will receive updates on Windows 10 if there are also updates for Windows 11. So if Microsoft 365 needs to be updated for 11, it'll also be updated even if it's running on 10. They will not do updates if it's a Windows 10 only update. Then they're not going to create those. So what does all this mean? Basically, they really want you to go to Windows 11. Unfortunately, for those of us who have older equipment that just cannot go to there, their advice for that is buy new hardware. I know they're also pushing this because of their Copilot initiative, where they now are putting out Copilot PCs that have Copilot integrated at a chip level. And that's supposed to be something I don't know anything about. I don't have a system that has that, but they have high hopes for how well that works. No, so what is the impact on those of us in October 25? It does not mean that your Windows 10 systems will stop working. They'll keep working just fine. It's just that as security vulnerabilities are found, they will not issue patches for Windows 10. So as time goes on, it's likely they're going to be more and more vulnerable. So that's the way it is with that. I'm not too worried about it. I keep my router updated. I keep my security software updated. I make sure I don't click on suspicious links or emails that I don't know where they came from. As a result, I'm not that concerned about my Windows 10 machine being infiltrated. But there's always a risk. There's always a risk. So just be aware.
Share a favorite. I've been waiting for this all morning. Okay. I'm going to share with you as a program I reviewed before called Pestle. This is a recipe program. It is available on macOS and iPadOS and iPhone OS. It is not available for Windows. The man who develops it refuses to do a Windows version. I'm going to be covering the new things this can do. And version 2, I thought I was impressed with version 1. Now, it's $20 a year. Best $20 I ever spent. I use it constantly. Now, let me show you some of the things that this little program will do. Okay, let's go into Pestle. Okay, these are all the recipes I have collected. I have a great shopping cart. I have a calendar. But first, we're going to go over here and select New. On the iPhone or iPad, there's a plus button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that. Okay, there we go. Now, before you could enter from scratch, which it supports copy and paste, you copy all the ingredients and copy all the instructions. You can enter a URL if you know it. You can scan it. Oh, that's new. Scan recipe. Okay. So that's where he moved it to. Okay. Or you can choose a file. But what he's added is browse the web. Okay. We're going to come up here and I'm looking for a recipe for 4th of July. So I'm going to have 4th of July side dishes. It has a built-in web browser. And okay, 72 best for the. Let's go in and check that out. Mix a little bit. Oh, I lost it. Okay, let's go. And I'm going to come down here and see if I can find pasta salads. There we go. Classic mac now. Ooh, that one looks good. Cowboy pasta salad. Go to recipe. There it is. It's added the recipe. That's all that it took. Now, but let's say that, I'm in Pestle right now, but, I would rather be in my browser. Okay. So let's go in and 4th. Okay. Top 12. 60 best. Okay. I'm, doing my thing, browsing the internet, and I say, oh, geez. Ooh. Oh, I like those kebabs. Ooh, grilled mushroom skewers. Okay. Now, I have this recipe here right now. And I'm saying, geez, I'd like to add that to Pestle. How do I do it? What am I going to do? Come over here to the share icon. It's identical on the phone and iPad. I come down here. Now, on the phone and iPad, it will show the application Pestle. Down here it says save to your cookbook. Done. All the ingredients laid out, all the instructions, nutritional information, description, everything done for me. That's simple. That's why I've managed to collect about 400 recipes.
Yeah.
For use.
You have to have the Pestle extension into the browser to do that? Or is it?
Okay. I don't know if it works I had not tried to do it in Chrome. But I did not have to do anything on Safari. I don't think so. Okay. Now let's go back in the Pestle. So, okay, I just got cowboy pasta. Okay, I'm looking at this. I have the recipe right here. See, geez, I want to put this for the 4th of July. And so we go down, I click on the icon, I come down here to the 4th of July, and I add to the 4th of July. So now I can go in and go to, okay, I do this all the time on my phone, but I've never done this on the Mac before. I never realized that. Where is a calendar? That's the folders. That I don't want to add. And also there's timers. Okay. Oh, and something else on sharing. If you send them a link, they have to have Pestle. You can export a PDF file, and when you do that, it brings you right into the share. First, what do you want to share with it? And then it brings you into the share dialog, so you can send them a message, an email, send it to one of these applications, save it, copy it. So it's very versatile. Okay, come on. There is a calendar. I don't remember. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, well, I know you can get to it. I just don't remember how to do it. Okay. But I can come down here. Okay. If I want to add stuff to my shopping list, it automatically opens up reminders and I can go through and add all the ingredients for this recipe or go through and say, I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. That. I got that. Got that. Got that. Need that. Got that. Need that. And then I can add these items and it automatically goes in, puts them in the reminders. In shopping list. And it's added all the stuff. I think. No. Where did it put it? Put it the same way. Supposed to be. Yeah, here it is. The red onion. Yeah, there it is. It added to shopping list automatically. So now when I go shopping, I just open up my shopping list and everything for my recipes are there. And it makes it extremely handy. Now, Mike is going to talk to us about his grocery list application. I'm anxious to see that. But
I have one question. I use Pestle on the iPad. I also subscribe to Pestle since the last time you covered it. It works great. I use it on an iPad in my kitchen. And one thing it does that I haven't figured out how to get around it is a little aggravating. Is when I start it up, it always starts on like the first recipe alphabetically. And I'll be doing stuff and the iPad will time out. And sometimes when I bring it back, it'll still be on the recipe. Other times I'll bring it back up and it's gone back to that first one. I
right.
found where it is to stay on most recent.
What you do, and that's what I'm trying to get into the calendar, is you use a calendar and that has your recipes you're working on. You just go in and click on that.
Okay, I'll play with that then.
What bothers me is because see, this is add, maybe it's this one button. Let me, yeah.
Hmm.
This just lets you, or you can also add to any day recipes, notes, and generate random recipes. But see, this is not letting me open the recipe, which is what I want to do. And I do this all the time on my, okay, yeah, that's it.
I know.
No.
Same thing with me. Get used to using it on a platform.
What I'm going to do is just come down here and mirror it. Okay. all recipes. Come down here to meal plan, the bottom. Come down here to olive oil cake. That's how you get around that. And there's my recipes. And I don't know why on the Mac version I can't find that because I use this all the time. You have the same share capability. Oh, I forgot. I have not see. I never use the Mac version to go shopping with. This one I've set it up to add it to my Safeway list. As you can see it. So that's the one that I normally use when I go shopping. I have a separate shopping list for Costco, Safeway, Trader Joe's, wherever else I shop. So that's makes it extremely easy. So like I'm planning on having a 4th of July cookout. I'm planning the menu. So here's the meal plan. I I developed this. It's a parsley basil sauce. It's somewhat like a chimichurri, but 100 times better. I made it up the other night and put it on. We had short ribs that I cooked for 24 hours. Jane normally does not like short ribs. We put the sauce on it, and she says, "I don't really think so." Well, it smells pretty good. Both hams. No tableware, no silverware, no, both hands just going into it. Absolutely delicious. We now put it on just about everything. Eggs, bacon, easy to make. So that's how Pestle works. It makes saving recipes super simple. The developer is constantly coming up with great new updates. And he is extremely responsive. If you send him an email in the morning, you'll have a response back by that afternoon. I've had, in some instances, a response back within 10 minutes. I sent him one a few months ago about something. I don't remember what it was. And went and checked my email. All of a sudden, there it is. Response already. Like, okay. And I was doing something stupid. So, with that, any questions on Pestle?
Okay. And I saw that John was going to be doing Pestle, which I also subscribed to since the last time he did it, and it is extremely useful. But that made me think about the other app that I use all the time that I also subscribe to, which is Our Groceries, which is a shopping list app. I don't use the reminders. I just didn't have that habit going. Our Groceries I actually got into probably before Pestle, at least 3 or 4 years ago. It is, as I said, a shopping list. To bring it up, it's very, very useful. You can have multiple shopping lists. I noticed that, John, you have shopping lists for different stores and everything. I shop at Safeway all the time, so I just don't need more than one. I have one shopping list set up. We probably should. Yeah, we need one for Ace. It is very simple. Well, the thing I liked about it, that really got me into it at the beginning, is that there is an Amazon skill that I could put on my Echo. And I have an Echo original beta version that still works, that's sitting in my kitchen. And I simply use that where I'll tell it, computer, add tomatoes to Our Groceries. And it will happily go in and it'll put its stuff there. I started playing with this when I knew I was going to present on it and realized that, yes, uh, it is compatible with Siri. Hey Siri, add pretzels to Our Groceries. Pretzels. And there it goes under the shopping list. So that works pretty well. In order to, when I'm tired of something, I want to get rid of it where I'm shopping, I'll just go ahead and press down on it and it automatically moves it to the crossed off list. Some of the crossed off stuff I'll put back. For example, we're always getting bananas. I'll just push that up there when I'm done shopping and put it back up there on the list. Anything that I know I will be getting next week at the end, I'll just hit delete all crossed off items. And that eliminates all that there. One thing, they just did an upgrade. And one thing they actually put on there is you'll notice the camera icon up at the top. There's a camera icon up at the top. And they just added a scan barcode to add. And I tried that. I'm going to hit the plus button and tell it to add those. And they came out with this while we're on vacation, so I happened to have a bag of Tito's sitting there. So I scanned the barcode, and yes, it came up with Tito's Crunchy Party Size and put the picture next to it. So something I haven't really played with much yet, but it is a nice little offering. I'm not sure on the price of it. I think I actually paid a single $40 for a lifetime subscription to something quite some time back. As I said, he just did an upgrade on it. So these are really handy. Like I said, you can use voice for either Siri, never mind, or the Echo. And although quite frankly, when we're doing up our meal plan for the week, I just can sit here and I hit the plus sign and add it in automatically. It's very easy to do. It will auto-categorize. If you tell it to add something, it'll do its best to come up with the category. If it can't figure it out, it'll just put it in uncategorized, and then you can go in and add it manually. I find it very simple, very easy with that and Pestle. And the only other app I use that I actually pay for and that's useful is I have a subscription to the New York Times cooking app. And I use that. I'll use that to find recipes, and then I'll send that over to Pestle and keep it that way. So between those three, that's how we plan our meals.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to do a few things on that. The Reminders app is the same thing with Siri. And before they changed Reminders to be more list friendly, it does a lot now what Grocery List did. And that now that I saw it, I know which one you're talking about. You can tell her to add something to the Safeway list and she'll do it. It does not have the icon scan. I like that idea. Okay, any questions on Mike's favorite groceries? Okay. And we've got Barry coming up. Okay, let's see. This is his configuration.
Some kind of filing cabinet.
Does he do okay. Let's go back. Okay. He's got his Apple Mini, scanner, phone, speakers, iPad. He's showing us his configuration. That's an awfully neat desk.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Oh,
I mean, that is much more organized than any geek needs to be.
that's amazing.
Table.
You know, I'll have to do my my outfit next month.
Pardon?
Let's see. It's number 8.
A webcam. Oh, the webcam up on.
Yeah,
on the,
well, it's on top. Yeah, it's on top of the
I'm
monitor.
gonna have to do mine next week or next month just to show the other end of the spectrum.
We could have a contest and see who's worse. Mine is a disaster. I mean, between 3D printing, the Cricut, the computer, and my printer, it is a disaster. Especially since I've been doing what I've been doing lately, just to let you guys, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm taking a ceramics class down at Cochise College. And I'm using my 3D printer to create stuff for ceramics. And so much so that these ceramics instructors are saying, I need to market some of the things I'm coming up with. I just came up with a texture roller that there are ones that'll do what I'm doing, but mine is much better ergonomically, is adaptable because I have a screw handle so that you can interchange it with other things. And the ones that they were showing me are priced at like $75 with one roller. Mine, I have like 20 rollers right now. You can make it into a trimming tool, and I was going to charge $10. And you're nuts. You know, so that's what I've been having fun with. Yeah. Barry, I'm not cutting this out. Barry, this is ridiculous. Nobody should be that neat. Okay. Do any of you have a favorite you want to share? Anybody use a lot of the same program a lot? Okay.
DuoLingo.
What?
DuoLingo.
Oh,
Yeah, say about DuoLingo. It's supposed to teach you how to speak different languages, but it really doesn't. It's more of a game because I've been going through 4 languages and I still can't speak them. But anyhow, there's some new stuff that aren't exactly languages per se. They've got like a math thing, which is really fun. Especially me being a math teacher, or I was a math teacher. And then they got a music one, which is even cool. You can even do stuff if you have a keyboard of your own and you play it on the keyboard, it gives you points. And the newest one that just came out last week is chess. So those are kinds of things. They do have a free version, but the like the chess and the math and the music only work like an iPad or an iPhone. They won't work on the regular computer. Like for a regular computer, but that's only the languages. You can only use all the fancy stuff on your phone or your iPad. But it works on Windows or Apple, so but it is like so cool.
interesting.
I bought the premium version for Christmas like 3 years ago. Now I'm not allowed to take it away.
If you're doing it, but that if you're doing another version, free tries to start over again, so you don't get your points. Premium version, you can have as many tries as you want, and as long as you get to the end of the little exercise, then you'll get your points. So it's really frustrating on the free version because if you're not really good, you're just not going to get any points. And part of it, it's more of a game than it is learning anything.
Yeah. I think we have a. I think I downloaded. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Okay. Any questions? Any answers? I can come up with a question. You guys can come up with an answer. If not, then we are going to take a break for about 5 minutes while I get ready and save the current video that I did remember to turn on this time. So we'll see you all in about 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone, from the break. Now we're going to get into the main topic. And I want to thank whoever, and I don't remember who asked for this. Okay. Well, you're going to be really surprised. Mastering Apple Preview for macOS. Now, right now, Preview is in iOS, but not as a separate app. It's integrated into it. iOS 26, for the iPad at least, they are breaking out Preview into its own app. I don't know if they're ever going to do that for the iPhone. One of the things that iOS 26 is going to have on the iPad is we now have a menu bar at the top of the screen, just like on the Mac. File, edit. Yes, sir. Remember, I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't remember off the top of my head. Yes.
They're changing to year. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. What they did is because so many of the OSs have so many different versions, people are getting confused. 26.1.2, then the one after that will be 27. Mac OS, iPad OS, iPhone OS, Apple TV OS, Vision Pro OS will all be 26 from now on, then 27, then 28. So let's go in the history of Preview. Preview actually originated in 1989 as part of Next Step OS on Next Workstations that Steve Jobs came up with. The Next Step formed the basis for what became macOS. Now, people don't realize this. The Next Workstations were leaps and bounds ahead of anything else on the market at the time. Preview was bought by Apple as part of the acquisition in 1996 of Next. which gave us the macOS version 10 that skyrocketed, which became Unix based. I loved it. Oh god, when they took that workstation away from me, I almost cried. Um, and Preview's been one of the bundle on macOS ever since, and most people don't realize what it actually does. So, what is Apple Preview? It's a very versatile application bundle. It's used for viewing, editing PDFs, images, and just about any file format you can come up with. If it can be displayed, if it's a displayable like a word processing document, a spreadsheet document, it won't open Keynote, I don't think, or PowerPoint. I haven't tried it. It has a very good user interface. It does very quick edits, has a lot of professional. Anybody know Adobe's Acrobat? It is very similar in many ways to Acrobat, but it's more. And one of the big things it allows you to do is make it very easy to fill in forms. But like with Acrobat, that it has to be a fillable form. The person who created it must designate the form fields. Not with Preview. With Preview, there's a magic button that you click that'll take and create the form for you to fill out. So let's go and take a look at it. First, we're going to take a look at the toolbar, the sidebar markup tools. So let's go into Preview and take a look at its user interface. Now, you have your standard menus up at the top. You have File, lots in File, but nothing earth-shattering. I can import directly from my phone. I can take a picture or scan documents. It brings it in, and its native form is a PDF file. That's kind of cool. I can take a screenshot, very much like the standard screenshot. Okay. I can share, and I have my edit. One of the interesting things I've found is that you can move the PDF straight to trash. Okay. But we have some things down here like autofill. Okay. Start dictation. We can do dictation straight into a document here. So while we have Go, we have tools, we have text selection, redact. Okay, text selection. I can come in here and I can select it. I can copy it, but I can't paste it. There's a PDF document. Okay. But if I want to add things to this, here on the menu bar, I have information. That's the inspector. It's not showing me anything. If I zoom, I can share it. The share button. I can send to the printer. Okay, here's an interesting icon. Highlights and notes. I can come in and highlight, change the color. I can underline. And I can strike through. And this works on any PDF document. And then I can rotate. You say, why would you want to do that? Well, with this type of document, it doesn't make much sense. But if I have an image, you can use this for images? We'll get to that in a second, okay? And then I have the markup toolbar, which we'll get to in a little bit. But we have a strange, it's not lit. And what do we do with that? We'll get to that in a bit. And then we can search the document. So if you have a multi-page PDF file or any PDF document created by anything, how about a PNG? How about okay, import from my phone. I want to scan a document. Okay. And then I can go in here and I can redact it. Or I can underline it, strike through. Redacted content is permanently removed. Any contact marked for redaction will be permanently deleted when the document is closed. Okay. So it is true redaction. That I have thumbnails, or I can show a table of contents if I had a document that had a table of contents. Highlights and notes, I can go through and I can highlight stuff. Get off of redaction, John. Text selection. I can go in, highlight. There we go. And then I can go in and add notes. I can add a bookmark and come back to it. Let's go to, okay, this is a Pages document. Okay, it does not have a table of contents, so I can't display it. I can create a contact sheet, which shows all the pages in it, and I can go to any page I want. Most of the time, I do it this way. You can add bookmarks so you can get to it. I use the thumbnails. And so let's go back, see if I covered everything. Navigation. Oh, you can't customize the toolbar. Customize it. Standard Mac interface. I can go up and add or subtract any things that I don't want. I can add in like a selection, previous, next. Drag in an entire menu bar. So did I cover everything on that? Yes. So let's go to the next. One of the nice things about this is that you can drag and drop PDF files into it and create a whole new document easily. You can split PDFs. Let's say that you want to get one page or 2 or 3 pages out of a PDF. No problem. You can annotate notes, highlights, and add shapes. And I'm going to find out. Okay. Let's say I want to add in, I can open up folders. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to open up this one. And now I want to add to it. I have a PDF here. Okay. Something's really bizarre because it's not letting me copy. It's like the finder's been turned off. But you can merge PDFs together. It's not letting me do copy, and it won't let me empty the trash or anything like that. So let's continue. You can do image editing. Okay. You can go in, and now what we're going to do is open up a JPEG. Okay, here's my wife. Okay. I can select her.
PSD.
Photoshop the document. I can crop. I now have it's changed. I can adjust color, adjust size. I can annotate. I can highlight text if there were, create a rectangle, an oval, an arrow. If I want an arrow, that easily. It is. I can crop. like that. I could remove background. All in preview. That's simple. And then I save it. Okay, hold down the Option key, and I'll have it save as. So I don't get rid of my original. I'm not going to save that one. So you have an image editor in there. And it's for doing quick and dirty things, especially for annotating. Because let's go up and let's say, I'm going to open that same one again. Let's say I want to add text to it. I come over here and like the text icon. Oh, I know why. I need to make it a PDF file. Because it was not a PDF file, it would not allow me to add text, so I just had to. I'm going to make this a lot bigger. And I'm going to make it black so we can see it. Okay. Now what I can do is do a save as, and this time select JPEG. So now I've just made annotations in it. I can save it as JPEG file. I can save it as an HEIC, which is the new JPEG format, as a PDF again, a PNG, or a TIFF. So it does document conversion. So I can go in and do very rudimentary. Remember, it's not a page layout program, but I can go in and add text, annotate it, and then create a new JPEG or PDF file. But the reason I was having trouble to begin with is you can only add text to a PDF file, not a JPEG file. But I can convert the PDF to a JPEG. Okay? Everybody with me so far? So you can do all kinds of image editing, adding annotations. I can adjust color. Go over here. But see, the problem now is that it is not a PDF file. So I have to go back and open. There we go. Okay. I can come up here and adjust color. Exposure. Contrast. Temperature. Make it bluer, make it yellow. Tint. Add a sepia to it. And control with the histogram up here. Now I've got a really nice sepia tone. All within preview. So far, quite a bit of functionality. The markup tools allows me to add shapes and text, which we've seen. Redact sensitive contact. And signing documents, I'm going to save for just a little bit. Because what we're going to do is open a PDF in preview, activate the markup toolbar, use text boxes and shapes to design fields, and auto create. But to make it easier, here is an IRS form. 1040. I'm in preview. I can go in and fill out this entire form because the IRS has made this a form. Probably using Acrobat. Preview understands that. So I can go through and fill everything in. Now, let's say I wanted to sign this document. There's not a signature block here, but let's say there is. Oh, let's go in. Why don't we add that? So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a field. Called signature. Now I want to add my signature. Here's a button right here. I have legally signed this document. Now, to create a signature, you can do it one of three ways. Create a signature. I can use a trackpad to try and sign it. Not very good. I can use a camera, which I can't right now because what I can do with the camera, you see it activate the camera. Whoop, wrong camera. I can use my iPhone or it's picking up camera there. Okay. Or I'm using my iPhone. I can write my signature out, show it to the camera. It will recognize it, snap it, and then I have my real signature. This is my signature. Yes, ma'am.
Signature. However, and you say that is legal. However, could somebody else take a picture of your signature and put it on some document? And then they're going to say, hey, you signed this.
That is a danger of it. Okay. Generally what I do when I sign it is I make sure that I put something on top of my signature so that if you do take a picture of it, it won't be my signature. And what I normally do is we'll do this. Is put the signature over text. So you can't do that. Okay. Do I use this? All the time. Now, quite often I have to use DocuSign, which has the same type of feature, but what they do is they create a signature out of text. Yes. And I have to verify, you go through a whole process. I use this all the time on signing letters and such things that I mail out. It's got my signature. I always put it over the text just enough so that they take not legal. I can resize it like that. And initials, I have the initials. Those are my initials, so I can initial stuff. Now that's really pretty cool. But let's say that you have a form that hasn't been created. So let's go in here. This is one of my invoice. Well, I didn't create it. So you have a form that's come in. You really need to fill it out. Here's the magic button. You click this button, show form filling toolbar. It goes through the PDF file, identifies what can be filled out, and is now a fillable form. And you can do this on any form that comes in. If it doesn't have the forms already in there, it's like 90% of the government documents. You just click this and you have text, all the things that you need to fill this form out. I created this invoice in Pages, saved it as a PDF document, brought it in here, click that one button, and it's now a form I can fill out. I can save it as a template. So anytime I need to use it, I can just go in and fill it out. If you get a form off the internet that is a form, but it's not recognized as a form, they didn't set it up in Acrobat as a form. They just did what I did, is created it in Word. You bring it in. If it's a Word file, you can read the Word file, save it as a PDF, and then it'll recognize it. That's the power of preview. I can go in, and this is why I use it a lot. Bring my signature down here. Sincerely yours, John Buno. Send the invoice out. Any questions on preview? You understand now why I say the preview is pretty powerful? It's very easy to use, especially if you have to fill out forms, or if you get, this is what I really, if you get in a document for which you do not have the application, It'll open most of it, like the PDFs. I know why it stopped doing it, because it opened up the first time. You can open up normally PDF files if you don't own Photoshop, Word, Excel, numbers. If it is a text-based document or an image-based document, Preview will more than likely open it. It cannot open some of the weird 3D image documents. I don't think it'll open STL files. Let me see. You got to be kidding me. It'll open STL files, okay? And then I can say this out as a PDF file, and it gives me are you seeing what I'm seeing? I didn't know this. It recognizes the STL document and treats it as a 3D document. If it will do SVG, I'm going to be really, if it opens an SVG file, I'm going to be really impressed. Scalable vector graphics. It's a type of file format that is designed for a vector graphic, which is a file format used for scalability. It's not like a JPEG, where JPEG, if you make it bigger, it falls apart. Yeah, so far, no, but let's go into preview. No, it will not open the SVG files. No. If it could, I would be extremely impressed. But the fact that it opens an STL file. So I learned something today, that it'll open up STL files. Okay, let's see what else. Checkboxes. Generally speaking, it will not recognize a checkbox as a checkbox, so you have to either type an X in or type in a check mark. So far, it does not have built into it to create checkboxes. So far on iOS 26 preview, no one has mentioned it. It'd be nice if it did. Okay, we talked about adding a signature. Very easy to do and use. We've already demonstrated that. Any questions on preview? Pardon? Now that you've seen what it can do, go home and play with it. I use it for filling out forms constantly, especially when somebody sends me something, you need to fill out this form. Well, it's not set up to fill out. It has been set up as a form. And I don't want to, they normally say, print it, fill it out, scan it, and send it back. Are you kidding me? No, And like somebody the other day says, well, just use your typewriter to fill it out. My what? And that's when I discovered that button. I didn't know it was there. And I was going through and I said, because I had opened up the form and said, how am I going to do this? Because I'd have to go through for every single field, put a text field in. You know how long that takes to do? And then I was going over the tooltips and it said, fill form. So I clicked on it and it went through. Now, granted, it missed 2 fields, the big notes field. So I had to go in and do that one manually. On a 7-page form, I didn't mind doing that. So it took filling out the form for taking me hours to do down to 20 minutes. So that's what I use it for. I don't use it a lot for image editing, but I have used it to add images to a document that I'm in the PDF. Do a copy and paste. Any other questions? Okay, we're going to wrap it up early. We'll see you all next month for Tip Fest. I am expecting you to come in with questions on preview. Janet, don't forget, if you have questions during the month, use the mail list. If you're not on the mail list, you should have been added by now through past members. All you do is type the MVCUG group list, and it goes out to everybody. And there's no question that is not a good question.